This is a book ball summary of the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey says, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. There are 2 types of people in the world. 1, who constantly complains about their situation, and 2nd, who accepts reality and takes an action to instead improve their situation. Stephen Covey, in his book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, demonstrates the habits the 2nd type of people practice to get the most out of themselves and their lives. You won't be efficient and succeed overnight. You approach success with your mind and habits every day and night. It's important to cultivate habits aligned with good principles. Most advice follows one of these 2 paradigms. Number 1, personality ethic argues that success comes from learning a series of tricks and techniques. This advice is attractive, but it often leads to rather superficial changes that don't make a fundamental difference. Number 2, character ethic argues that there are underlying principles to success. These principles aren't specific to any one situation. They're deep, unchanging truths about the world. If we align our inner character with these rules, we'll achieve lasting results. So, learning a new communication style and changing your fashion game means superficial. But if you want to develop an inner character based on good principles, then you need to change the way you consistently perceive and approach the world around you. In short, making changes based on the character paradigm requires that you cultivate good habits. Let's dig into the detail about these 7 habits. Habit number 1. Be proactive. Highly effective people take proactive control of their response to the world. Our lives are not at the mercy of outside influences. Instead, while we can't control everything, we can control ourselves. When you're proactive, you have the freedom to choose how to engage with the world around you and the opportunity to determine your destiny. Humans can pause, reflect, and decide how to respond in any situation. For example, the famous psychiatrist Viktor Frankl spent World War II locked in a concentration camp. While his tormentors determined all his external conditions, he realized he was still in command of his responses. He spent each day imagining a better future in which he would be able to teach students how he survived the horror. This proactive response gave him the strength to pull through and fueled his later career as an educator. With practice, you too can foster the power to actively shape your response to any given hardship. When you encounter an obstacle at work or in your personal life, take extra care to consider your course of action. Don't immediately succumb to your initial instincts. Instead, step back, consider the root cause of the problem, and then focus your energy on what you can influence positively. Habit number 2. Know your end outcome. Think about building your dream house. Before framing the house or putting up the roof, it's wise to draft a blueprint. After all, without a clear picture of what you're building, the construction process will be a chaotic disaster. You'll make costly mistakes, waste valuable materials, and likely be unhappy with the result. Whenever you act, whether big or small, you're doing it twice. Before you physically carry out a process, you first do it in your imagination by conjuring up a plan. That's why highly effective people make a habit of thinking things through. Begin every task with a desired outcome. However, the real benefits of this habit come when planning for the long term. To do this, imagine your desired life by crafting a personal mission statement. Do serious introspection and write out what you truly hope to achieve, what values you want to uphold, and what you see as a real success. Use this document to measure your progress and as a guide to help you make decisions. When you know your desired destination clearly, it's much easier to stay on the right path. Habit number 3. Set your priority. Let's say it's 9 AM on a Monday and you're at the office. The phone's ringing, the printer's jammed, and you have to write a report and a project plan to draft. And now your boss is knocking at your door wanting to speak to you. What do you tackle first? Even when you know what your goals are, it's hard to know which steps to take and when. To do that, you need a time management matrix to prioritize tasks according to 2 dimensions: urgency and importance. To design one, get a piece of paper and draw a 2x2 grid with 4 boxes. The top left box is quadrant 1, tasks that are urgent and important, like a crisis that can't be ignored. The top right box is quadrant 2, tasks that are important but not urgent. Think long-term projects like building client relationships. The bottom left is quadrant 3. This is for tasks that are urgent but not that crucial, like answering the phone. Finally, the bottom right is quadrant 4. This is for everything that's neither urgent nor important, like playing solitaire. While the items in quadrant 1 are important, it's the jobs in quadrant 2 that deserve special attention. If you address them early on, you'll help prevent new items from appearing in quadrant 1. Once you've divided up all your duties this way, it's easier to see where to focus your efforts. Sometimes putting things first requires you to delegate items that don't need your personal touch. Just be sure not to micromanage. Don't assign tasks, instead, ask for specific results. After all, when it comes to efficiency, the outcome is what matters most. Habit number 4. Approach for win-win scenarios. Throughout life for many people, the dominant paradigm is a win-lose worldview, meaning that they see every exchange, whether personal, business or other, as a competition in which getting what you want means the other parties can't get what they want. It's making everything a competition, turning potential partners into adversaries. The effective habit of ensuring everyone has a positive outcome is the win-win paradigm. This worldview ditches competition in favour of collaboration. Adopt an abundance mentality. The mindset doesn't see good things like success, joy, fulfillment, or even profits as rare commodities. Instead, it knows there's always plenty for everyone. When you realise there's always more value to be had, it's easier to look for ways to collaborate on attaining it. With a win-win mentality, your biggest victories come when you see that you're all playing on the same team. Habit number 5. Understand others to be understood. Let's say you are visiting an optometrist today. You read letters off a chart as the doctor tries out different lenses. Eventually, you'll find the exact lens for you. But what if the doctor took a different approach? What if, instead of testing your eyes, she simply gave you her glasses, said, "These work for me," and left it at that? Well, your vision would still be blurry, and you probably find a new optometrist. It sounds absurd, but when it comes to communication, many people act like that doctor. They offer solutions before actually understanding the problem. Thus, it's important to listen and understand the person first. Unfortunately, most people only hone their speaking skills. To cultivate personal connections, you must understand. And to truly understand someone, you must learn to listen. Your listening needs to be more empathetic. Try to hold off on offering advice until you comprehend what someone is trying to communicate. This keeps the conversation centered on the person you want to understand. Most importantly, you must have a sincere interest in other people. It takes time, effort, and practice to do it correctly. But if you try it, people will notice and appreciate your attention. They'll often reciprocate with empathy and respect for their own. Over time, your relationships will become more open, satisfying, and meaningful. Habit number 6. Create powerful synergy by fostering the open exchange of ideas. Synergy is the creative force that emerges when different people are brought together in harmony. You see, every person is different, and each individual comes with a set of strengths and weaknesses. So, when groups work together, they can reinforce each other's positive attributes while mitigating their negative ones. In the end, a better whole is born. The way to encourage synergistic energy is to create an environment in which everyone feels safe and respected. This requires drawing on other habits like win-win thinking and empathetic listening. When these habits are put into practice, people will be more likely to share ideas, build on each other's contributions, and value the different skills brought by others. Like a rich ecology of interconnected species, the most productive groups are ones where the members connect and nourish each other, where you let synergy bloom. Habit number 7. Make time for yourself. Even the most driven and dedicated workers will eventually burn out if they don't take breaks. For this reason, the final habit is rest and renewal. Make the time to take care of yourself. Without a well-maintained body, mind and spirit, all your other effective habits will start to suffer. So it's crucial to allocate time and energy to renewing yourself continuously in 4 different dimensions. The first is the physical dimension. Take care of your body with regular exercise, proper nutrition, and plenty restful sleep. The second dimension is spiritual. Get in touch with yourself, your values, and the beauty in the world around you. Each day, take a few moments for quiet contemplation, prayer, or mindful meditation. This keeps you centered and ready to handle adversity. The third dimension is mental. Just like your body, your brain needs regular workouts. Stay sharp by always learning something new. Practice new skills, read new books, or try picking up a foreign language. The fourth dimension involves the social and emotional aspects of your life. Enjoy your social life, check in regularly with loved ones, chat with colleagues, and play with your children. If you commit to renewing each of these dimensions, you'll continually reap the rewards. With this habit firmly in place, you'll always be ready to act as an effective person. What's your most important key takeaway? Please comment down below and share the video if you like it. Thank you, and until next time.